everyone. Just trying out my new gimbal here. I'm out in the bush right now for a little mountain bike rip. I'm gonna make some more tea because it's cold out here, and I make some soup. So got my little spot here. Nice little kettle. Yeah, got Mono Cliffs today, and I thought I'd just share some of my adventures and let you guys join in on the fun. I'm gonna make some soup. So today I remembered to bring my little jet boil. So this thing's awesome. It's got super compact, and it boils the water very quickly. So everyone, I'm out here. I was gonna make some soup, and of course I didn't follow my own rule. 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So I wanted to light my stove, but I don't actually have a lighter with me today. Luckily I'm resourceful, so I'm gonna try a couple different things here. Probably gonna start just making a bow drill, if you can believe it. So it's gonna take me a bit of time, and if I might also try a little battery trick and see if that works as well. All right, here we go. So I found a nice cedar stand here. I turn my camera around. Oh, maybe not. Anyways, found a nice dead cedar, and then here's the top. Nice pole for spinning the bow drill. So the key with all this stuff is to have to come from the same tree, or it has to be the same hardness. If one wood's too hard, it consumes the other. So I'll check back in a bit. All right, just wandering through, seeing what I can find here. Now when you're looking for all your bow drill stuff, you sort of always got to be looking around, seeing what's available to you locally. So here's a nice well, it looks to be dead, but a spruce tree. But if you can find the sap on them, that's one of the best lubricants for your bow drill. So if you can find it, I'm looking at this one now, there doesn't actually seem to be too much sap. So I'm gonna keep looking and see what else I can find. But yeah, as you're walking through the forest, you always want to be mindful of looking for all your items, and especially your tinder. Your tinder is really important. You need to be able to find the driest, lightest, fluffiest stuff. So I'll check in with you guys in a bit. All right, so here's some stuff that I'm still looking for: spruce gum, the sap from the spruce tree. And as I was walking, I found some of this goldenrod. Now it's not super light and fluffy right now, but it's somewhat dry. So since I come across the opportunity, I'm going to take some with me. Just jam it in my pockets. Try not to gather stuff from the ground because it'll be a little bit damp. But this one actually feels somewhat dry. So the more tinder, the better. And you can gather lots of tinder, especially in a survival situation. You want to go big or go home. Make sure you always sort of overdo everything. That way you're not wasting your efforts. Alrighty, I found the jackpot. It's gonna be hard to get to. Let's see. This is good. Look at that. That's some good stuff there. Still fresh. That lovely. Whew. Alrighty. So I got all my stuff together here. Thankfully I had my saw with me. Harvested this cedar wood with the base of it, same tree. So I'm just gonna shape these up, shape this into a spindle and this one into a board. I got my handhold. This has to be the hardest wood out of all of them, so it has to be harder than the cedar that I'm using. I got my bow. Nice little bend in it there. And yeah, and then as you can see, I have my little tinder bundle that I'm making, all filled with nice fuzzy stuff. And as you walk through the bush, you always fill your pockets with goodies. So, but yeah, this is some poplar bark that was on the south side of the tree, so it's nice and dry. More goldenrod. What else goodies do I got in here? Yeah, poplar bark and cedar. So I'm gonna prep all of this and I'll talk with you guys in a bit. Just to give you an idea of how I'm prepping the tinder. So I got the poplar bark here. I'm just giving it a good rub. See all the dust coming off? Try and separate those fibers. Poplar is usually a little bit damp, so you try and get it on the south side of the tree that's exposed to the sun. And then in my bundle, I put all the coarse stuff in the bottom. And then all the finest stuff in the very top. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, so I got my tinder bundle roughly made. I'm gonna, hopefully you guys can see, split my baseboard. Look at that, some anties in there. Not the native anties either. Some ants in there. So, I'm going to trim this up nice and flat. Get rid of some of these sticks there. Get this nice and flat on the bottom. So I'm not going to torture you guys with that. And then I'm also going to get my spindle ready. And then the handhold, which I'll split that right now. A little bit what do you call it? Spiraled, but it's good. I'll make it work. There's my bird's nest tinder bundle. So just getting the spindle ready here. It's not entirely straight, but it's pretty straight. So you want to make sure that you're getting it as smooth as possible so it doesn't destroy your rope. Basically make it like a big pencil. It's a little technique I learned where you put your knife on the back of your knee and it just helps save your elbow from going like this all the time. Right? You get some leverage in it. One thing, everyone, is leverage is the key to the universe, as I like to say it. So if you can use a mechanical advantage, you should be using it. So double, looks like a pencil on both sides. So, and then once I decide whatever the bottom is going to be and whatever the top's going to be, the spruce gum, all this lovely stuff, stays on the top. You never put it on the bottom, because the bottom is where you want all of your friction to be, right? So I'm almost ready. I'm just gonna prep this board. It's a little bit thick, and then I'll burn in the holes and I'll touch base with you guys shortly. All right, so I got everything sort of prepped. Just figured I'd talk to you guys about the bow. I wish the stick, I could have spent a bit more time in it to get something with a little bit more of a bow, but anyways. So the key with the bow drill is you always gotta have tension on the spindle. Now most people, they'll show you how to wrap it, and they usually wrap it once, but I like to wrap mine multiple times, especially because when you're in the bush, it's very hard to make string, and if you wrap it only once, you're putting all the friction on that one point of the string. So, and then what also is key is you have to have tension. So as you can see, I wrapped it around multiple times here as opposed to once. Now, the only thing with when you wrap it around multiple times, it makes it a little bit finicky. You can, once you've done this before, you know about the string riding up and down, so that can annoy some people. So having it wrapped around once, it's only one string that's riding up and down as opposed to multiple strings wrapping around. So apparently that's the way the Egyptians did it. They would drill a hole through the spindle and then wrap it around multiple times. I've always liked the technique just because I know how hard it is to make rope out here if you don't, have the materials at hand, and it takes a little bit of time to prep everything. So I always like to carry lots of rope with me. And yeah, so I'm gonna put this spindle together and then we're gonna burn the holes. And moment of truth, I'm about 35 minutes into this of just gathering stuff. So all right, so just show you guys what I've done. Got my bow made, and I'm just gonna wrap it up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're really gonna try and get that last one on 5. Need lots of tension. Okay, form is everything with this. So right now I'm not gonna waste my energy. I'm just burning it into the board. Anybody who's done bow drills before knows your first few times how frustrating it can be. So all right, see, got a bit of smoke. The key with any friction fire, let me see if I can get this on camera, is this dust right here. The dust is what builds up into the coal. Okay? You want to make sure your board's thick enough that you have enough time to build up that dust. But I've got a hole burnt into it. So now I'll carve the notch. Because the notch is where all the dust falls down, and you need to gather that dust. That dust is what actually makes the coal. Okay, so there's the notch. All right, everyone, moment of truth. So I'm just putting a little bit of that grease on the top of the spindle. And that way it'll lubricate it a bit. So got my tinder bundle ready. Wrap this up. Now, as this wood hasn't been seasoned and dried, I'm going to take my time and not burn my energy out all at once. So just moderate pressure, moderate speed. There we go. some air get to it. See, each time it's getting a little bit easier to start smoking. Keep letting the air get to it. It's helping dry it out if I let the air get to it. Lubricate this a little bit more. I'm actually just letting some of the dust build up too. That way I got a nice dust pile. Time is it? 2:15. So we're gonna time how long this takes me. Might make this hole a little bit bigger because that's one of the reasons why it's popping out there. This seems to be popping out too much. I'll carve this smaller just so it fits in the hole a little bit better. Now you notice I haven't disturb that dust pile too much. I want to build that dust up because that's what actually creates the coal, right? All right, so I had to make some readjustments there. The string is getting loose. I'm gonna give it another go here. Oh man. Well, I think I got one. Hopefully. Whew. So, I have got one. I'm not gonna move the camera. Took a bit of energy, as you can see. But I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a rest because that coal will burn, 10, 15 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. So I'm going to, there you can see the coal smoldering down here. There she goes. Yes. Sometimes the tinder bundle can be hit and miss. And we have fire, folks. Whew. Took a bit of energy. God bless the birch bark, man. I'm telling you. Thank you, fire. Throw some of this tinder in here. Get some of this birch bark in here, man. That's the key. All right, gonna make some soup.